Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Living Life, I Have Life for You. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today we're starting a new series on research with our very own Erin Gilligan. Hi, welcome back.
Hello, glad to be back.
I'm excited to have you as a co-host for this super important series on research. And today we are starting with an amazing student at Life University, Samantha. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are y'all?
I'm good. Please introduce yourself. What quarter are you in? Where are you from? Talk to us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Samantha Long. I'm from Columbiana, Alabama, and I'm 8th quarter. So I'm a little like 2 years in. I have about a year and a half left. And I've been doing research since about 3rd or 4th quarter.
Awesome. And you are in the chiropractic program.
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. That's exciting. And tell me a little bit about your background, Alabama. I hear you graduated from Auburn. Talk to me about what you graduated from, what year you graduated, and so forth.
Yeah, so I actually graduated from Auburn in 2020 with a degree in nutrition, and I minored in Spanish and business, actually. And I was planning on going to chiropractic school since about my senior year in high school. So I'm from a chiropractic family. My granddad's a chiropractor, my granddad's sister, and then also my uncle is currently still practicing in Alabama, same location. And so big chiropractic family, been adjusted since I was born. So of all my siblings, and I've really, experienced firsthand how important and powerful that can be.
That's awesome. And what led you to the research? How did you meet Erin? Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, so it's kind of that same inspiration that led me to the research. So my research looks at experience with chiropractic care, health outcomes, and quality of life in the pediatric population. So it was actually when I was about 3rd quarter, I guess, and I was in Dr. Kwan, which is the research chair here at school. And I was talking to her about some different research that was out there about chiropractic pediatrics, and I was in her class, and it kind of made me want to see, well, is my experience represented in the literature? Like being adjusted since I was born, not really experiencing any health problems. Is that something that, we can look to literature and say, oh yeah, there's evidence for that. And there really wasn't. I saw different, the way like chiropractic would help with different health issues like colic, infant ear infections, all these different things. But as far as the kids that have been adjusted since they were born, asymptomatic, and just how their life looked, there was not much out there. And so I had this idea to create a simple, efficient, I'm that person that's like, okay, how can we do this the most efficient way possible and get the best results? And so I had this idea for this simple survey study where I could try to get a lot of people involved and really get this information represented in literature through a research study. So then I went and started talking to Dr. Kwan about it, and she's great, super helpful, and was super excited about the idea. And she really helped me to get into the RISE program, which is what you helped to lead. You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, the RISE program, every quarter we accept applications from students who are coming in and want to do research, and we show them how to do it. And we have people who continue the RISE program. We have the option, and we've offered to as well, to renew the submission program for research. And so really, it's a great way for students to come in and partner with their faculty members like Dr. Kwan, as you did, and really see what research is like from the ground level up and see how to do research. Because a lot of people come in and they don't have research background. And I was curious, did you have any research background when you were in undergrad?
So I did a little bit of research when I was in undergrad. I did more in the kinesiology department. I started looking into nutrition research, and it was kind of difficult. And that's what kind of steered me away, because it's hard to isolate nutrients and really show something with them without a really, really large study. So it's kind of a difficult thing to research, and especially when you have human subjects. I don't know if y'all have done any research with human subjects, but it's difficult to really make those correlations. And so it's needed, but it's really difficult. And so I went into it, I started helping PhD student with research on muscle tone and different nutrients and stuff. They would put these people through different exercises, and they did some different muscle biopsies and saw if the muscle tone increased or what the fibers just looked like it was super interesting. I did that for probably about 6 months. I just kind of helped out in the lab and got some really great experience with that. And on one end, I was like, this is really cool. And on the other end, I was like, gosh, research is so hard because you work for so hard. Right. I mean, so hard for so long to get this little amount of data to contribute to the literature. Right. And so it's really not any one study that makes research valuable. It's all of them together. And so that's, one thing, it's like, yes, well, it's our duty to contribute to that. But on the other hand, it's like, gosh, I do all this work for just a little thing. So that's kind of what it steered me to doing this study that I'm doing right now, is because I'm hoping that we'll be able to really get a lot of information with a simple study. It's more broad, I would say.
You're finding it more accessible almost to get that information just around with chiropractic focus, nutritional kinesiology,
and the way the survey study is conducted, because I'm getting a lot of information about past experience. So let me tell you a little bit about how the survey is set up. So it's open to people 19 years in age and older to answer questions about their experience with chiropractic or lack of experience with chiropractic in their childhood. So from 0 to 18. So what you're going to do is you just answer different multiple choice questions. I have a lot of really objective questions that look at, did you have a type of surgery when you were young, like that could have been prevented, like tubes in ears, tonsils removed, different questions like that. And then I also have different health problems that we see a lot of our children, youth struggling with, like allergies, ADHD, constant ear infections, constant tonsillitis. I have a whole list of different questions about different health problems that we see a lot in our youth, and also things that I've seen personally chiropractic help with that we may not have evidence for in literature. And so that's why I really wanted to give an opportunity for these people like me to share their experience and be able to put it in literature to where we can point to that and say there is evidence for it.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that you're able to see that you're contributing to the literature already, or you're preparing to contribute to the literature that's not there, that exists right now. But you're contributing, you're making a difference in that way. And I think that's fantastic. And remind us when you started the study, the survey.
It's been, I think, quarter, like I said, 3 or 4 is when I started with the RISE program. And then it was quarter 7 that I actually finally launched the survey. So that took a lot longer than I thought, because it's, like I said, it's a simple survey, but it took a long time to get it approved and all the different IRB and all of those things. And then whenever I finally got it approved, it was quarter 7. So it was like almost a whole year. Yeah. And we actually launched it at the assembly, research assembly last quarter.
Wow.
Got a lot of participation. It was really awesome. I think we got like over 200 participants just from the research assembly.
Wow.
So,
where does it stand now? So I heard from Dr. Kwan, the numbers are quite impressive. The most recent numbers for where the...
So I checked it this morning and it's up to 817.
Wow, that's impressive. And yet it might have taken a long time to get there, but that small break that you're setting into the world, it opens up a huge opportunity for chiropractic to continue growing. Because the question that you brought into play for this research is such an important question. It's a question that I asked myself as a person that did not grow up in chiropractic and grew up with a lot of health issues. And I've always asked myself, like, would it have been different? Right? And that it's already a stepping stone, because you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And therefore, this is that small step. You are thinking it's small. I'm seeing as a huge step into the progress of chiropractic and having chiropractic involved into that lifestyle since early on, since before birth, ideally.
Right. Yeah.
Ideally. So talk to me a little bit. So after you've gone through receiving these 800 surveys, what's next? Where do you go afterwards?
So I'm hoping to leave the surveys open for a little bit longer. I'm really hoping to reach 1,000. That's just kind of a number in my head. I'm like, that would be a great place to reach. And so I've been actually going around to the different classes for each lecture for each quarter. And I've got a lot of participation that way. And it's really interesting so far. The distribution is about 50% that experience chiropractic as a child and 50% not, which is really surprising to some people because I thought when I was going to come to chiropractic school, everybody had experienced chiropractic their whole life.
Right.
Which is not. So we're actually getting some interesting information just from that. A lot of people haven't even experienced chiropractic till they were an adult, which was really neat. Yeah.
Same.
Chiropractor as well. Yeah. And then what was really interesting so far, I actually looked at this morning, but I've had almost 120 participants that have been adjusted since they were born within 2 weeks of birth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And so I can't look the way that's showing up on the spreadsheet. You can't tell what kind of health outcomes that population has yet, but I'm really excited. And you asked about what steps are next. And so once I close the survey study, I'm going to start grouping the different groups of people, whether they had chiropractic versus not. And then also when they started chiropractic care, as well as how often they received that chiropractic care, and see if we can see a trend. I'm going to work with some different data analysts and see the best way to get the most accurate trend and really look at that information to see if there's a big difference. And if there is, which health outcomes are really the most impacted by the chiropractic experience, which is going to be super interesting. And I'm really excited to get to that point.
I think it was really exciting just listening to you speak about it is that you started with this question and then you researched it, you went through, you did the process, and then more questions came up and you're going after those questions too now. So it's like expanding. And I think that's just shows what research can do. And I think you're doing a great job at it.
Yeah.
And I am curious also about sharing out your message and your results or things like ACC RAC, and then you attended recently, is that correct?
Yeah, I did. I did in March, I think it was, and it was in New Orleans, and it was a really great experience. I went actually with Dr. Kwan, and she goes pretty regularly, and I was able to just see people from all over the world that were all under this one umbrella of progressing the chiropractic profession through research. What was super interesting because I've never been around that many different cultures, different people from different backgrounds that all had that one same common goal, even different chiropractic schools, because we know that chiropractic schools are different. You know, I met people from all different chiropractic schools, and I was really good getting to talk to them and seeing where they were doing and what aspect of the chiropractic profession they were working on progressing. And it was like all these people together. And I'm hoping to get to go this coming up year, and I'm planning on applying to present at ACC RAC this coming up year. So I think that's due coming up, and we'll see if maybe that'll work out, maybe not. But I'm looking for different ways to spread this information once it gets to that stage where it's tangible. It's in graphs, it's in charts, and you're able to actually see it from that angle. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm also excited about presenting the research in such a way that people can understand.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all, but sometimes reading research is kind of tedious.
Yes.
And you don't really know what the point they're trying to get at. The charts are super complicated. And, and my goal with the research that I'm doing is to make it very accessible to a new mom who may not even have a college education, that she can read it, understand it, and get information out of it that'll help her to make decisions for her life, her health, and her children's health. And so that's really my goal with it.
That's really important. Thank you for making that a goal, because as a chiropractor who focuses in neurology and focuses in neuroemotional technique, and having to kind of read the research, digest it, and kind of like blurb it back out into a patient in a way that a 5-year-old can understand and explain, it's a whole different workout, guys. That's the overtime I don't get paid for. But it's really important to have that accessibility for parents to say, this is a published research study that you get to read, you get to understand, and you get to kind of digest and make an educated decision. Because I think that ultimately it sounds to me like you're educating people on whether or not it's beneficial for their child, their family to experience chiropractic. It's just giving the resource of education. So thank you for doing that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And how can so I have a little bit of a call out then to our community. You wanting to get to 1,000, you're about at 800. That means we have about 200 surveys to complete. How can they support you? How can they kind of plug in and get you to that 1,000, maybe 1,500? But I'm just dreaming over here.
Yeah, 1,500 would be awesome. So I can actually send the link to you, and it's been posted in the Life You newsletter. I know it's been sent out through Life Force.
Nice.
Thank you to some different other doctors that have been sharing it. And so I can definitely talk to you after and kind of give you that information to share so that we can get some participation from the audience, which would be really incredible. And like I said before, it's anybody over the age of 19 can participate. You don't have to have had chiropractic care.
That was my next question.
Anybody over the age of 19. And I personally am not a big fan of surveys. So when I made this survey, it's the easiest survey you've ever taken. It's like all multiple choice. Takes like 3 to 5 minutes to complete.
Nice.
Yes, super easy. Like that was my whole goal. I was like, would I do this survey? Because I wanted to do one that, exactly. And so, the typing answers for surveys, I'm like, all multiple choice.
Nice.
And then I also have a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card at the end of the survey. So I'm going to do a raffle. I'm going to give away 5 of them.
Oh, nice.
Whenever we close the survey. So
that's awesome.
I think that call is great because what we're trying to do here is one of the things we're trying to do is to send the research conversation, get it going, have people talk about research, get excited about research on campus, not just for the gift cards, but for the posterity of it all. And I think this is a great start to that conversation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've had so much support from my classmates. I'm telling you, this last 2 weeks when I've been really recruiting in the different classrooms and stuff, my survey results have just gone way through the roof. And it's been really awesome to see everybody really take an interest in it and participate and really help us. It's really all of us get to our goal. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, look, help me, help you. Like I'm trying to get this published by the time I graduate so that you can use this with your patients and you can use this in practice. And there's not really anything out there that shows this information that we're trying to collect. So
the publication will be available in the library.
Yeah, which would be amazing. That would be an amazing milestone to hit. Yeah.
I got goosies, guys. I got goosebumps over here. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for this process. I'm really excited for the fact that RISE is available on campus and that there is an opportunity if you have a question, just a burning question that you don't really know where to go with it, just contact someone from the research department, guys. Ask Dr. Kwan, ask Dr. Guagliardo, ask the resources that we have on campus, people that have done research, people that have asked questions and found answers or in the process of. Right? So ask the question, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for this opportunity for you to share with us what you're doing. I'm really excited for the results. I'm really excited for what's going to happen with your career through this process because you have no idea how beautiful it's going to impact it. And I can already see it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate y'all having me on here and letting me share it. And this is the first step in getting the information out there. So I really do appreciate that.
And 2,000 participants is right around the corner.
Hey,
we keep giving that number up. I love it, Erin. I love it. Fist bump this. Yes, absolutely. Alrighty. Thank you, Erin, for spending a little bit more time with us. And we'll see you on the next episodes of the special series on research of living life at LifeView. Have a beautiful day, guys. Bye-bye.